Greetings, I'm joining us on this broadcast. It's on this fine, uh, what is it, December 12th, end of the year. Sort of cold, sort of not, depending on where you are in the world. So I figure this is a great night to go into cults a little bit. Not going to go too deep into that. And then I'm going to connect to the ruler of the world again, because, or one of them at least, one of the rulers of the world. I think that's kind of interesting. Not sure if anybody else finds it. That fascinating. We'll go into a little bit detail on that. Okay, well, here I'll put this out there. So connect to the ruler of the world, the one I've been channeling, the one, the elongated head guy, the green guy, or he's not green, but either way, the that doesn't matter. I was talking about, this is just what I was driving. So like we're all tall, like tall people are like the human version of the tree. So you go to a tree for wisdom. So it's some of these beings have been known to have, some trees have certain information, so they want to get their attention or however you want to look at that. It's like so a shorter person would be like a human version of the bush or a plant or something like that. Something around those lines. That was different. So it's just, yeah. Well, a tree gets you, of course, all things get attention, but a tree gets attention. So either way, it's a different point of view. So we'll see where that goes. So we're going to cults. So there's Karen talk. There's a documentary about Heaven's Gate. I've seen some of it. I didn't watch it. Actually, after this, I'm gonna take another look. I didn't watch all of it, but I got the idea of it. So it's kind of interesting. Well, here I'm going. I'll show it first. I'll show what I'm talking about. Well, first, give a little bit of an update. Where the hell I'm at right now, which is nowhere. I'm on. This is inventory.com. Yeah, we'll just skip to it. I'm on for the shop. I'm on the 3rd. Same situation here. Sign up for webinar. Social network, Rabbit updates and behind the scenes uploads. That goes into the longer video. The next one will be out Wednesday. If I know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm not set up right. 1 second here. There we go. Give me a second here. What's that? Okay, so this is it. So it's on HBO Max. I guess that's the only place it's at. So they go a bit more deeper than it's been out in other places. So I just want to show it to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So I didn't realize that not many places go that deep. Well, I guess you can buy a book and read it, which is not happening. But apparently members would go to they would go wherever this group would go. I didn't realize that. So they would travel around the country, certain places. So they just leave their families basically, and they got donations and things like that. They ended up at a mansion, and that's where that comet was coming, and they figured they're going to go to the aliens, but that was like one of the early alien, like modernized version of it. Where people feel like they can change their body. These people cannot connect to anybody, like current, right? Like many people are going through right now. So what else was there? It was funny how the news that was reporting on it, which is funny, they don't realize they're exposing themselves because they don't believe in any of this stuff. but they're showing how clueless they are. So I guess when we go more into the alien realities and say this isn't all just a bunch of manipulation, it's real, as more people get out of their comfort zone and, anyway, however you want to word that. They'll look back at, the news media, how they used to, how lost they were, basically. Of course, many of these people that were connected to this cult, now the leader of this, I forgot the name of it, the guy, I can't remember his name, but I don't want to look him up right now, but, the headmaster of it. And there was a woman, too. A woman brought him into it. And now this is like the Nordics, the tall blonde Nordics. They basically appeared to this guy. I'm assuming I feel like he had alien contact from what I could feel. And it was Nordics, and Nordics is terrible. Some of them are really positive, some are just awful. But they're godlike, and their looks, they're beautiful. And they manipulate the hell out of this guy. But this is like one of the earliest alien connections. So I guess you can say one of these things is inevitable, unfortunately. But they honestly believed all this is going to happen. The comet was coming, I believe, and then the Earth is going to be destroyed, and they'll go to a planet and be renewed, something like that. Something around those lines. And I believe he honestly believed it. I don't think it was a con man. I believe he honestly believed it. Which is funny because there's another cult out there, cult right now, that I'm not going to mention. It's so funny. He talks the same way. He acts the same way. Talks, believes everything he says. He's completely manipulated. It's absolutely... I can't get involved with that, but it's funny. Even one of the alien beings that he channels would have loved to just, do the same thing. Get into a mansion and just wipe everybody out. They can't do that. I know this one would love to do it, though. So I'm not going to go into details publicly. I've been mentioning here and there. It's kind of a heavy accusation, actually. But I know it. So if it looks like a cult, sounds like a cult, it probably is. And you're going to see more of this occurring. I believe and that's on YouTube right now. And there's also some really large ones that are cult leaders. I don't think they even realize it. They have the symbols in the background, all friendly. It's like, man, it's like cult-like. It's like, I don't think they realize it. So they even talk like it. It's growth on, it's not an easy growth, as you can see. So that's the age we're going into. As more of this, as religion becomes more alien, unfortunately, this is going to be the new normal. Well, it looks like it's still in its infancy. But there was talk about the star people, but in a preacher type of way, probably. Not looking forward to that. Most likely, or the churches will adapt to the alien knowledge eventually. Some will, maybe not all, but some will. Some of the more new age churches probably will. They want to get more. Awakening is going to happen in all different ways. So I think it's inevitable. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's inevitable. So you say it's happening now, but yeah, it's lovely. So about that documentary, there was something else. I can't remember what it was, but it was interesting how people left their families and this group kind of moved around a lot. It was just, I didn't realize they did that. So it was a lady that was starting it, and then the guy came in, and they just loved it. And you really feel the belief system there. It wasn't for everybody, but some people, they knew their star seed origins. Unfortunately, they got manipulated into committing suicide, unfortunately. But they were onto something overall of connecting to, so hopefully something like that doesn't happen again. But it's really hard to say. Things are going to get strange. As this becomes more popular, it's going to get more bizarre. So it's going to go at all different levels. Right now, everybody's they're protesting in Washington, D.C., in a peaceful way, but then they started being the crap out of each other at night. So yeah, we have a long ways to go. So anyway, all right. Well, see what we got here. We're going to connect to the leader of the Earth. Shit, what the fuck am I talking about? Well, we get a perspective from at least one of the big egos. That's the purpose of it. I don't think he has an ego, but either way, just give it a different perspective, and we'll see where this goes. So, yeah, there's all kinds of leaders of the Earth. All kinds of beings are going to say they're God, whatever. So, this one's not saying it's God, but it might as well be. But either way, we'll see. It seems like the energy is getting a lot clearer connecting to them. They're becoming more easy about it. Before they're like, I don't know if you want to say anything. Is there? And we'll see if anybody else comes through. So, I don't know. We'll see. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. You can say as I'm leader of the Earth, not really. We are more watchers of the Earth, as you heard the term watcher. But yes, there's a lot of reptilian beings that do want to rule your planet in the physical, or even be here physically. Where they have their human girlfriend, wife, and they just lay around all day. Reptilians are also known to be construction workers too, and warriors, but also and scientists. It goes in different directions. Oh yes, the word about the tree. So tree life, tree energies, tree incarnations usually is for younger souls to enter Earth's a world's consciousness to connect to nature, grass, sunlight, even sunlight. You can also be sunlight. You can connect to that collective consciousness and be sunlight. I gave that person sunburn. Seriously. Yes, it's time to come out of your comfort zones. But tree energies, yes, tree people all have different personalities. It is a collective consciousness, but it's a way for spirit beings to learn about your collective. Spirit guides also is another form where spirit guides are created, or where they form their knowledge. Yes, they can be a part of a world for thousands of years and understand a consciousness. To a degree, understanding, they might not interact with it on a physical level as a person, but as a tree energy, they can learn a great deal. It's like one of the best schools around. So now this is now for tall people. Now it doesn't mean that all tall people are tree people, but some of them are, and some of them want to be recognized for their branches, their looks. They might even have tree type of hair, possibly. That's kind of flamboyant to get your attention. Yes, to read their knowledge. You don't even have to talk to them. You can just feel their vibration as what you would do with a tree. Like, oh, that tree person is here. We're going to be okay when everybody else is shorter. So it's trees are, you can say some tree people are known to be leaders. Not to say others aren't, but when you have a tall person there, it's kind of letting you know, it's normally a protective energy overall. So, but souls, this is university for the souls, for yours, but also for the spirit. Yes, for the spirit realm on a different level. Meanwhile, new spirits, they connect to your tree life or animal life or all life and learn from you as you go through the tests. So yes, you are there. They're watching you to a certain extent. So, but when you're in an environment of love, which you are in, you might not always recognize it. You don't really mind them watch because you kind of want them to watch, or you do want them to watch to see how you do it, see what you go, and even also help you when you make a mistake. So, yes, eventually there'll be a time when people talk to trees, recognize it. What does nature have to say? The world's gone crazy. What does nature have to say about everything? Nature is saying humanity will get themselves out of this. Humanity is going deeper into itself currently, very deep, leaving its comfort zone of financial gain as because new possibilities are coming in. New talents are coming in. Old talents have been utilized. Now new talents are being discovered within the souls, within the people that are here currently. As you heard, learn a new skill. Well, that's going to become very valuable here. You'd be surprised how souls can learn new skills pretty easily, depending on what it is. Not always aware of what they're capable of, and that's what's happening right now. So as the third dimension is kind of shutting people out. Obviously, things are still physical for now, as the things become lighter. As some of you probably see a lightening energy, a lighter vibration coming in. It might not be at full force at this time. You feel it, just the denseness is here, but you also feel a future where everything is lighter, where you say, I know this term has been cryptic for people, like pillows. Pillow is it's a cryptic word. But a softer energy, a softer environment. Or 5D, you're in 4D currently, you're in 3 and 4. But more 5D knowledge comes in, that's where you get your downloads. As you know more about why you are here, the ancient side of your planet, the Anunnaki side of it. Well, you say some Anunnakis, some Anunnaki beings, some alien beings could have brought this earth into a higher vibration, literally. Now they'll be responsible for it, as you probably have heard of this, where beings can literally just help you out. Some people are already asking for alien assistance now, right? Like, why don't the aliens come and make everything better? Well, that could have happened in the past. It could have happened anytime. But in the past, that was a possibility. Like, even Anunnaki beings just say, why don't we just take this world for ours? And for better or for worse, hopefully it works out, and just make this Anunnaki planet altogether. And you most likely will not have the manipulations you're going through today. This world will be very different right now. We won't be having this conversation right now. Now, will it be for better or for worse? It's hard to say. Because then you have to go. They have like a dictatorship in Anunnakis. They have it to a certain degree. It's not full dictatorship, but there is a version of it. Most likely, of course, you've been through that also, but you're a little bit more diverse than you would be right now. Meaning you'll have a one world government currently on kind of already live one now, but it'll be on a global scale already. Now, would it be great or not? Yes and no. It's hard to predict that, but that's one. And the Anunnaki were in thoughts of doing this. Even the Pleiadians were thinking of that too. The Pleiadians felt like this world would take up too much of their resources, meaning that they don't know if they will even survive to pull this world out of where it's, before it, when it was in early darkness. We're just giving you different perspectives. So instead of like an alien race saving you, well, you go into the Syrians. The Syrians wanted nothing to do with that. It's like, now obviously be assisted, but they'll help you through. Still allow free will to occur, because that's true. Alien energies, when they become more of your parent, you can say, of your planet, free will is not as strong. Now, free will is not so great at this time for many, but it's That's where the shady side of it is. Yeah, when an alien group like a Anunnaki would take over, yeah, freedom is not. You have free will, but you don't have free will. But it's a long story on that. But Syrians wanted you to basically let humans do their thing, and Syrians will assist. And as you can see, many alien groups agreed with that. They're assisting where they can, because they're all grouped together. All alien groups are working for the most part, while humans make their own decisions. Now, of course, humans give away their power to the dictator of the day, to the government of the day. The British government is kind of a dictatorship. Yes and no on that. It is some freedoms, but it is acting like a dictatorship currently. And that is now the British energy, yes, would like that to be worldwide. Now, Australia is going through it. So it shows you where your global elites are living at this time. Now, this isn't everywhere, but it shows you what the global elites, the UK, it shows what the. I don't think we're going to get much argument there or disagreement there. It shows what the elites are itching to do across the planet. Control what you say, remove words, have words that they can, they have ownership of. Even choose what kind of children. Yes, it would go all the way. Similar to China. Choose the kind of children you would have, yes. I mean, if you want to go to a whole nother level. Now, obviously, it's not going to that level, but someone, yes, if you're, it's not that you're having too many children, it's that they want control of your children, what you're doing with them, what kind of color hair they have. Obviously, it didn't go to that extent. So what we are getting at is as your next year and following years will be more of a 5D energy. What isn't many of you are looking for. Now, 5D energies doesn't mean that the physical realm is going to get more active or angry. That the physical reality is not working like it used to. As you see right now, many things are breaking down. So, where eventually, yes, money won't even exist at all. Of course, you have some time for that. But that's where you're heading, to a time of a cashless society, but a money-less society. No money at all, nothing. There'll be bartering, but it'll be more energy exchange. Obviously, you have some time for that, but that is your future, where you just be, and you share your talents. You don't have this need to obsess over things or to be corrupt. I mean, there will be corruption, but the systems, the government systems, actually causing a lot of difficulties currently, as you can see. Like, where are the gangsters? Oh, they're in your government system. Like, where are your criminals? Oh, they're running government. I thought they were in jail. No, they're running government. And do we have to map that out for you? Draw it out? I mean, there are criminals. Why would criminals want to be in jail? No, they want to be in power instead. So people are already recognizing this. They're going to recognize it to another level. They have recognized it, but obviously things have not shifted completely. It's like the criminal is going to hit humanity as hard as they can until humanity wakes up. It's like, oh, wait, you're bad for us after 20 years of abuse. or more than that. So, yeah, you're going to a state of where that won't be tolerated anymore. Yes, you have some time for that because many are very hard, strong. Because some humans need something to complain about. They need a dictator to tell them what to do. Now, there's different types of dictators. There's small dictators. There's police dictators. There's mayor dictators. There are governor dictators that you're experiencing now. It doesn't have to be a dictator of the world. Dictator of the world is a little bit too obvious. But you have the miniature dictators that are in stealth mode that people are obviously seeing now more than they ever have before. New York City is another example. It's right in front of it. So what are you doing with your galactic consciousness? Well, you're obviously without a protest, but just to heal those energies, so you don't need that anymore. And you're here to heal the timeline. That's what you're here for on a global. You're here to, how much you're going to put up with. Now, obviously, many of those in the physical realm of third dimensional thinking want, yes, the paradise existence, as you can see. But I feel like many of you are, want paradise for everyone, but yes, without the manipulation of society. So you're going more into an intuitive reality, where intuitive abilities strengthen, where you can see things, see your reptilians through people, as some are already seeing, but the third eye will strengthen. We don't have a time frame for this, but it's been strengthening over time. Your 21st is another energy flux of more intuitive abilities to just see things more clearly. Now, the world might still be in chaos. It might be burning itself down, but many of you, it's like, I'm not going to be part of that. I'm just going to be at a 5, 6D, 7D energy. And that's your decision. It's not going to be easy, but that's where you're going. It'll get stronger and stronger every year. So right now, yes, you're just feeling the energy of humanity under manipulation, under that prison mentality. And it's fascinating. It doesn't want you to see exactly why it's happening. Even the mind it's just like you drive by a jail. Do you know what's going in there? You can feel it. As you start to open up in more 5D energy, to feel humanity, the third dimension energies, what kind of prison the mind has been putting themselves in. How many bars are there? Who is there? Like, you have a person that's going through difficulties through a spouse. It's like you look into their mind, if you're allowed to. Well, they'll if they say, "What's my problem?" Well, either way, you'll know. We'll just use it for example. You'll see like their parents there, or grandparents that are in one's mind, a controller, a control system. It's like, this is how we want things to be in our ancestors' life, in your grandkids' life. It's like, get out of my energy field. People aren't realizing that ancestors are controlling your current reality. That's why things never change. So you'd be surprised. You can be controlled from a great grandmother they don't even know. Yeah, well, you'd be surprised. Lower vibrations do not leave easily. They might cross over. Energy is still here, though, as some of you feel. So, yeah, that person's crossed over. I feel all their vibrations still here, because it is. That's why it's so dense here. So, I do see, how is this going to go? Well, but graveyards one day will be healed or removed altogether, because you don't need to mourn anymore. That mourning energy keeps their vibration here. You have a stone with their name on it. That almost traps someone's soul here. I mean, they're free in the spirit realm, but they're still connected to this place. Because the family doesn't want to let them go. They say they're not there. In some ways, they are. Their energy is there. So we do feel at grave sites. Now, people are going to have difficulties with this one. Eventually, it will be released, because you'll feel the spirit world. But yeah, humans still have a long way to let go of that one. So you wonder why the world is so dense. Just look at your local cemetery. And it's interesting, doesn't government buildings, they look like cemeteries themselves. You have that kind of cemetery vibe, because they do. Because they're part of the old energies that built it. So eventually, yes, you also see buildings, I believe this is mentioned before, this is going to be some time in your future too, while old buildings eventually be revamped to a higher vibration. It's hard to have a 5D Earth with third dimensional manipulation. It doesn't really work that way, does it? You might have a library, and yes, it has knowledge, but it's stinking up the place. Eventually it'll have to go, along with many other things. Now realize all that energy still exists. It's always a reality. You can always, if you need to see these things, they always will exist somewhere in some time in some realm. Nothing ever goes away. Once it's created, it never goes away. So it doesn't mean you have to experience it for this earth. This earth would like to be able to breathe more clearly. It's kind of hard to do that with a lot of these skyscrapers on our planet. Bringing Archon manipulation on multiple levels. So that's what we see changing on your earth. Now, what can you do now? Just be yourself. Yeah. Allow yourself to not see yourself as crazy and allow more of your intuitive ability to come in. We're saying this is because there is a way out. It's not that you're off the planet, but you're becoming more of yourselves. Well, the third dimension physical, as many of you know, is so thick. It's like a tomb. And it is. And so, yes, it's beautiful, but also vicious. And that tomb has to be opened up. Yes, remove the mummies. As you go into more of a 5D vibration, you'll see more into the 3D reality. Why are certain things happen the way they are? Things will just come to you, little by little. Now, right now, it's very thick, but it's thinning. It's thinning out to reveal itself. Yeah, that's when your aliens start to appear too. To you also, as you go day by day as yourself, but you just little by little you take yourself more seriously of a higher vibration. But that's allowed to come through too. Not everything's allowed to come through. And a 3D reality it'll make more sense to you. Yes, you'll see the players behind the scenes. Archon beings, alien beings, every Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You'll see the issues with a lot of these alien beings that are causing difficulties here. Yes, a lot of alien beings have mommy problems and daddy issues, yeah. Mostly mother problems on a grand scale. We're talking about the beings that are causing trouble here. Well, mom told them to do a certain thing, and they're doing it. Mother, the dictator. The reptilian dictator. You'd be surprised how many female reptilians have not really made themselves known for obvious reasons. How controlling some of them are. The male is very controlling. The female is also sometimes worse, especially to their reptilian sons, that they want them to look good. It's like, look, a controlled society, they win a medal. In some ways, they do. Some of these reptilians have caused difficulties, and even David Icke talked about them. A lot of these reptilians are controlled by their mothers. And you think that's funny, and it is, but it's also true. Reptilian mothers love their reptilian sons that are master manipulators, soldiers of time. They're breaking down though. So because also your energy connects to the sun, as many of you know. So you shift with the sun. The sun's energy, the earth is shifting. You allow yourself to blossom. And you see the controllers of your earth. Where you see the Illuminati, where you see us possibly in due time. You might see things that it's like, did I just see a being with a big head? See, and some of you have already seen us. You just don't, like, I must be just seeing things. You're not seeing anything. So the thickness comes from third dimensional manipulation. There is consciousness that's manipulated by several beings. Some is Anunnaki, not all. Anunnaki architecture, as some of you already know, because Anunnaki Anunnaki bought a system like for commerce. So you say give humans something to do. Of course, some say enslave the human race, but it's also giving humans something to do, something to grow, somewhere to grow themselves. Because war is just destruction. Yes, you learn something, but not enough. So many of you are as you're going through awakenings, you're going to more of a 5D vibration. So yes, the lessons here aren't as prominent as they used to be. You're still learning something here. It's just not always going to make itself known. It's not going to make itself clear. There is lessons being known. But the third dimensional fog, yes, we're calling the physical a fog now. Because that's pretty much what it is. Well, it's a frequency. And we see the layers of it breaking down as the hologram, you can call it that. A holographic third dimensional fog has holes in it, and will continue to do so. Here's another thing for you. Now, that doesn't mean this is going to happen right away, but I believe some of you have noticed or seen somewhere where you see like a plane that's just sitting there. It's like it's supposed to be flying, but it's just sitting there. Well, some of you are contributing to that for the awakening. You cause anomalies here for things to be known. Mysteries. So you're here to mess with the reality that you're in. So as you become more awakened to yourself, you might feel it's like, I think I was connected to that. A plane that was sitting in the sky, not moving for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's so you're gonna understand where your signatures are coming from. So this is something that's is a slow progress. But the third dimensional hologram, the players in it, what we feel right at this point as we connect to it, some of you would connect more to Anunnaki architecture here. Well, another reason why they did it is the world does not destroy itself. Because, they had to add order through a society of chaos. There always had to be a order here. So you're going to run into Anunnaki energies no matter what, from what we see. The gatekeepers of your reality. Yes, there are Orion beings here too. There's other beings, but they're basically kind of like your gods that's staying hidden. And yes, they have their own agendas, especially within the intelligence agencies. Yeah, a lot of these alien beings, they just want to keep themselves secret, obviously. But, I mean, secret. Secret societies on different levels. But your intelligence agencies are creepy as hell once you connect to them. I mean, how many of you are going to walk into the FBI and say, hey, everybody want a hug? Probably not happening. There's a bunch of robots there. So that's where your elite, that's your playground of the elite. All your secret agencies, the Secret Service, etc., is all your elite. That's all Illuminati energies. Of course, your big companies are connected to it also. But, the structure to keep the humans, organized, you can say. Or as some of them see humans as animals. Keep the animals together, unfortunately. So you're going to also see their insecurities too. The elite that are running everything. So, so when is this going to occur? Throughout this year, 2020 or 12/21, the 21st that's coming up. That's going to be a frequency shift. So it doesn't mean it's going to happen on that day, but beyond that day, you'll feel little energy shifts where you just have a little bit more knowing about your reality. Why the physical reality is such a nightmare, a hell house, is those that insecure Illuminati people, basically. Yeah, a lot of them are in Oregon. Yeah. Because that's where their seances are done. obviously the media is not going to do any reporting on that. Yeah, it's Washington D.C., but a lot of it's in Oregon. Just is. And people wonder why they're kind of pulled to that area, because that's what needs the healing. Because it's so. And of course, also places where some of your retired government officials go. Not that any of you are really looking that up, but it's another idea of why the locations they just choose for their retirement is another, a globalist basically. Where does a globalist take it? They still have their elite connections no matter what, as you know. We also see more into that. Basically, all the secrets slowly become more known to you. You don't have to go into Area 51. You can feel the vibrations of it. You don't have to go to the White House. You don't have to go to any of these places. You feel it. So that is, now I don't say it's going to happen instantly, but that's where you're heading towards, where everything becomes lighter. The denseness is dense right now. It won't be dense forever. Let's see.